Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Elliott Hulse here once again, and I'm on my way to strength camp to my gym this morning after I dropped off my two middle daughters. I got 4 kids, the 2 middle daughters at school, and I just set up this Bluetooth microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've been making a lot of videos while I drive, and it doesn't make for good audio, so I just hooked this up. Hopefully you can hear me well, and if you can't hear me, that means I fucked up the setup and the Bluetooth ain't working. Anyway, I'm on my way to strength camp to meet up with my friend and our ex-intern but now hired strength camp resident neuroscientist, Farhan, Dr. Farhan. As it relates to some of the things I spoke about in my video yesterday, brain science, neurotransmitter, neuroscience, and bodybuilding, I like to see where there's overlay or where you can take a holistic approach to many different ideas. So, I talk about physiology, psychology, neuroscience, right? We're going to delve into neuroscience a little bit today. I'm going to interview Dr. Farhan. And of course, becoming a stronger version of yourself through strength training. Man, you can't separate becoming a stronger version of yourself from strength training. So I use the term bodybuilding just because it rolls off the tongue, neuroscience and bodybuilding. What I've experienced personally, but now through my clients for many years, through all of the beautiful comments that you guys share with me on these videos, and by watching my wife and her friends who never, other women who never strength trained before in their lives transform, become completely different people on multiple different levels, not just the way they look, but their mindset. My wife her character has changed tremendously because of the strength training. And strength training evokes particular hormones. Your body releases certain neurotransmitters associated with the exercise ritual itself, but also as a chronic byproduct. Your physiology changes. Your psychology will change by strength training. In fact, I had a lunch, one of my coaching lunches. I do coaching lunches with a beautiful young lady from Orlando who had been inspired by my videos, and she's a coach also. And she described to me how adding strength training, not just working out like typical cardio workouts or CrossFit, bodyweight, kettlebell workouts. She spoke specifically about deadlifting, lifting heavy weights, and how it had brought her out of a form of confusion, depression. Things weren't going so well. She introduced the barbell. She started becoming a stronger version of herself, and now her business is doing great. She's opened herself up to romantic relationships, and her life has been enhanced by the barbell. So, as wacky as I may seem sometimes when I go off on my poetic rants and I start talking about things that confuse you, like physiology and neuroscience, understand that the foundation is raw. It's the same. You want to become a stronger version of yourself, you begin with your body. And I find that for a good percentage of people, picking up the barbell is transformative. It's aggressive, it increases testosterone, it makes you more assertive, more confident. Of course, these are just testimonials and stories from people, but we're going to get Dr. Farhan in a moment to talk about the neurotransmitters and the hormonal reactions associated with strength training, what he's experienced, because he came to strength camp because he wanted to become a stronger version of himself. But being the scientist that he is, I think he's going to have some tremendous insights for us about how strength training changes your character, right? Your character changes based on the amount of and the type of and the percentage of certain hormones and neurotransmitters that your body releases. Interesting, if you read my blog post or my letter, Elliott's daily letter, in the link down below, I write every morning when I wake up. I spoke about coaching with Paul Chek. He's another mentor of mine. I consult with the geniuses of all walks. And he and I spoke about it yesterday. We talked about how the exercises that I'm choosing to use now evoke different hormones, softer hormones, things like oxytocin, yielding soft. I'm becoming more flexible, and recognize my character. Those of you who watched my videos when I was hard and hot, oh fuck, look at the exercises I was doing. Oh, hard exercises. Look at the Elliott Hulse that confronts you now. I make some of you guys uncomfortable, because what I'm also doing is forcing you to confront yourselves, forcing you to look at parts of yourselves. And when you're uncomfortable watching Elliott Hulse, because he's a little different, maybe a little softer, a little weirder, a little more eccentric. I don't think I could ever be more eccentric. I've always been eccentric. It's because I'm doing different things. I have different rituals. I have different exercise routines. I eat different food. I think differently. And I talk differently. Go fucking figure, right? It's versions of ourselves, versions of ourselves, versions of ourselves. And hopefully those versions, those layers become stronger and become stronger versions of ourselves. So anyways, rolling up to the gym right now. This has been a 6-minute video already, but I don't give a fuck. If you want to watch me talk for 2 minutes, if you want to watch me talk for 15 seconds, just watch my Instagram videos. Otherwise, these videos are just going to be long, because I got a lot of shit to share. So we're going to head into the gym right now and see what Dr. Farhan is up to. See you in a minute. All right, here we are at Strength Camp. The music's on, people are busting it up on the inside, but I have my guest, Dr. Farhan, here. Dr. F, do us a quick favor. I'd like you to introduce yourself by explaining why you chose to be an intern this summer at Strength Camp, bruh.
Essentially, you know, first of all, thank you for having me here. Really appreciate it. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the main reason is because I did a lot of soul searching. So when I was with RSD, you know, I spent a year there. After that, I tried to understand who would be the best person in the world that I can go to, that I would learn from to get that next threshold in my life for achievement, for progress. And you were the one, right? So I looked at everyone. This was like months and months of searching. And I decided that going to Elliott Hulse to learn about health, to learn about fitness, to get my health back in check.
Right.
You know, like it was when I was a baby.
Well, you explained that you, when Farhan was a kid, he was a champion spelling beer.
That's right, that's right.
Which is such a far contrast, because, I mean, I wouldn't even enter a spelling bee contest, but I was a tremendous athlete. I always trained, I always played sports. So now it's funny to see you and I as adults swapping. And, you know, I'm far more interested in learning about science and philosophy, and you're here because you want to become a stronger version of yourself physically.
Yes.
Build up the body, build up.
Yes.
And as we spoke about earlier in this video, and maybe you could shed some light on, strength training, of course, changes the way you look, because you'll stand taller, you'll have more muscle, so on and so forth. But, sorry about that. But it also changes your character. And we all know this through, what's the term to describe like an experiential result? We all know it through experiential results, but what does
plasticity in the brain?
Yeah, what does science have to say about how exercise changes, like you said, you're a neuroscientist, so he studies the brain. How does exercise affect the brain?
So any experience, including exercise, will cause connections in the brain to strengthen, right? So for example, you know, one simple example is like my glute max. It was never getting activated. You know, Randy found out recently, and it's because the neuromuscular connections that were going down were not strong. So if you train certain muscles, be it through compound exercises, the fitness training we do, those connections become stronger and stronger, and the neurotransmitter that are released are going to release more because these connections are getting stronger. So that because of neuroplasticity, be it any experience, especially physical training, right? Because there are centers in the brain that are mapped to the leg.
Right.
There are centers in the brain that are mapped to the bicep. And those centers are going to become stronger because those connections are increasing because you're training the muscle more and more.
Right. I've heard it described as motor engrams. Is that correct?
Yeah.
like there are like computer programs in the brain as it relates to communication between the head and the body, correct?
Yeah.
So, of course, we know that the brain is associated with the body. The body's the brain. I mean, shit, do I really have to explain that? But what changes in terms of character with regard to a person? Because if those hormones are shifting, those neurotransmitters are popping, then the way you present yourself into the world is going to be affected by the new hormones and chemicals.
Absolutely, because it's such a holistic thing. Health and fitness is so holistic because, so one simple example is there's a process of aromatization that happens when aromatase is an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, right? That's how gynecomastia happens, man boobs, right? And obviously a guy with man boobs is going to have a different character because the world is going to see him in a different light.
You'll be treated different. You think of yourself differently.
Right.
You have man boobs, you're not thinking of taking your shirt off and flaunting your chest.
Right.
So your character is affected by the hormones.
That's right. And once you get rid of, because a lot of aromatization happens in the belly area, in the visceral fat area, right? So if you get rid of that through increasing testosterone, which will get rid of that, and if you just get rid of your fucking belly fat and the rest of the fat in the body, or you try to get rid of it, that will decrease the aromatization, hence increase your testosterone, decrease your estrogen, man boobs go away, and you will see yourself differently in the mirror.
Well, I think we have it there, folks. I'm excited to have Dr. Farhan share with us today. We'll probably make more videos if you guys request it, but wealth of information, knowledge, experience, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
And thanks for helping us with this video, bruh.
Thank you.
See you in a little bit. Done!